Kia ora folks, be your local Bushman here. You will not believe it, but I've made it back home. There are reasons for that. No, I'm not going off trail or anything like that. I'm not going to go off trail and quit or anything like that. Nothing like that. But, first of all, I'll pop in some shenanigans. Let's see.
Sweet, what's going on YouTube?
So as I said, I've popped off trail for a bit. No, I'm not quitting, as I've reiterated. What I've actually done is because when I made it through Makahika Outdoors Pursuit Centre, there was some bad weather coming, and I only had a 2-day window to get through. I couldn't see myself doing it in 2 days, realistically 3 for the big part. So what I've done was, I skipped that part and just went down to Waikanae. I hitched a bit and walked a bit from Levin. So I did that part. I will base myself when I go back at Waikanae again and just carry on south. But in the meantime, Tararuas, I can redo that, that's fine. I have no qualms or issues with that. There are some other things I like to say as well, but here's some of the things I've seen along the trail.
Oh, that's a Harrison, you just wasted
Taxi.
I reckon.
That's like 3 mils of coke wasted.
Oh,
Christ.
So Tom,
There we go.
how much is this half a jar of Nutella worth right now? $20?
He wants a swig. Come on, it's English.
Now? Is that
No, $50.
Okay, so yeah, as I said, I've had some gear issues to sort out. Nothing's been terrible. It's just things I'd like to swap for the South Island already while I'm still in the North Island, while I'm relatively close to my own home. So I might as well do that now without having to coming back and forth back home or sending the stuff out. It just makes it a hassle. So I might as well sort it out now. Got some food resupply for the first week or two for when I jump back on trail. Okay, I'll be sorting that out. So that'll be great. I came back yesterday, it was the 17th, right? Today's the 18th. I'm going back to Waikanae 22nd, 23rd. There's a few hikers that I've been with for a while and we decided to have a little Christmas party together with other TA hikers. We don't want to go to a campsite or anything like that, hostels with a bunch of strangers, with a bunch of people we don't know. So we'd rather have Christmas with our own kind, so to speak. So there's always that. But first, I'll chuck in something else. Here we go.
Well, this is it, folks. Made it to the halfway point. As you can tell, a few people have been here. I think 2 other people have been here today. Shenanigans have been good. Yeah, going strong. Going to push for my next campsite now. So see you in a bit in the next video.
Okay, so the first things first I would like to say is thank you to everyone I've met so far. It's been a blast. There's so many people I've lost track of their names, unfortunately. I have catalogued them in my blog, which I'm updating for the next couple of days while I'm back at home. Heaps of people I've got to say thank you to. There's so many people, it's not funny. As I mentioned, there's one important person in particular I'd like to say thank you to. Leon Wiki from Survival Gear New Zealand, thank you very much for sponsoring my trip on the Whanganui. That was great, thank you brother. It was awesome, and it was awesome to see you down there. I'd like to thank all the other hikers I've been with, they've been awesome. All the trail bros, the trail sisters, the tramley in general. It's been awesome. Thank you everyone for supporting each other and showing love for each other, awhi each other, you know, show that love for each other. It's been great. Everyone hasn't had the best days, everyone hasn't had the worst days, but I believe all of us will get there eventually in our own time. And that's all we have. We have nothing but time. Just time, and time. So it's pretty good. Some other things I'd like to say, I don't know. This is some of the things I've seen along the trail. It's been pretty bad. Rubbish. I've seen a lot of rubbish around. Don't know if that's other TA hikers or if it's day trampers or weekend trampers, but guys, if you see rubbish and you're able to carry it, just please pick it up. Not being a dick about it, just pick it up. Don't be a dick. Put it away. Other things I've seen is trail graffiti. It's horrible. Please don't do it. You can graffiti in books, or if you're allowed to graffiti, do it, but don't carve your name on everything or every single branch from about I would say just past Whanganui all the way to Makahika near Levin. I've seen trail graffiti on trees. It's disgusting. Okay, why would you want to destroy nature? You're there to enjoy nature, not destroy it. Why are you vandalising nature? Sorry to be a dick about it, but yeah, really, it's not okay in a lot of people's books. Not just my own, but it's not okay. So if you guys can refrain from tagging your name on every single tree or branch or trail marker, that would be great. If it's a hut book or intention book, that's fine. You know, leave your mark there. That's sweet as. So those are the two things I like to get out of the way, first of all. Now, the Humble Rouse overview. I have the Humble Rouse overview of a lot of gear that I have. I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown of gear that's been good and helped me so far for the last 52 days. So let's have a quick look. First of all, my Merrill Moab 2 Vents. UK 14 wide. Now, these have been awesome on the trail. Great tread. Everyone has different footwear. That's understandable. Some people like boots. Some people like lightweight hiking shoes. Some people like barefoot footwear. Some people like trail runners. These are still my first pair of shoes for the trail. I've gone over 1,500 Ks in this one pair. And look at the tread. It's actually not bad. It's actually really, really good. The shoe's actually in pretty good nick, aside from the side frame. Those are from my trail running days when I used to run and walk a bit too fast and pretty close. Just for propulsion, I found it easier walking straight than how some people split their feet on the side. You ruin your knees like that, but yeah, there's only a little bit of damage here. Aside from that, they've been fine. Really great. The only problem with these now is it's a bit too narrow. My feet have grown a little bit, but it's narrow because it's caked up with so much mud, so much water. It's not funny, it's actually permanently shrunken. So the front toe box here is shrunk. So I'll probably switch to something else. I've got at least 3 pairs of Merrells here. One's a wide, one is semi-waterproof boots, and one's a normal. So I can make my decision next couple of days what I want to swap to. My original camp shoes. My original camp shoes were a pair of just reef shoes. Okay, they're sort of like diving booties. They're more breathable. I got this for 25 bucks. The problem I found with those is if they got wet, they stayed damp quite a bit. Even though they're highly breathable, they stayed damp quite a bit, and they were just constantly keeping my feet wet all the time. So I had to switch to these. These are like Tevadoses. They're a closed toe but open sandal. Okay, relatively lightweight. These are UK 13. They do fit. So they do fit. These are usually 100 bucks. I got these from Kelly's Shoes in Palmy North for 45. Great deal. Comfortable, breathable, and most important, they don't soak water. It's good. What else? Lots of things. Pot system. Pot system has been great. As you guys know, I've been rocking there's no actual name branded stuff, but it's proper titanium stuff. This is a titanium mug. You can't see it because it's so well used. Even before trail was not funny. And a titanium smaller mug. So that's my cook system right there. I've been using an alcohol stove that's somewhere else at the moment, but you guys seen that too. That has also been, oh, here we go. Here's one on. That's it. Tom Shuko. There we go, Tom Shuko. Took a little while to focus in on there, but this has been great on the trail. Just for cooking. I can't simmer anything. That's the dangers of using a methyl alcohol stove, but high heat straight away, boom, prime. Once it's prime, it's ready to go. It's been great. It's fantastic. So the cook system, I've had no problems whatsoever. What else can I say? Oh, my Injinji socks. Now my Injinji socks. The pairs I've already showed you guys in previous videos. 2 of these are now buggered. Fully buggered. They're blown holes. There's no point sewing them, they're so cheap. There's no point, so I can swap them out. But I've gotten over 1500 Ks on those liner socks, so that's great. Not these icebreaker socks, but my other ones with tramping in. One pair's blown holes, so I can swap those. They got replacement warranty. That's fine. My original shorts. Now I was originally using tights. They got too big because I was shrinking too much weight. So I went to some running shorts. They split after Hihi Kiwi Trek. When you're coming down the mud from Prongi, they split. So I went to Tikawiti op shop and picked up a pair of hot pants. Just Sheila's hot pants. It's size large. Fun fact, I bought these in Tikawiti. By the time I got to Levin, they were too big. They're too big now. Large. So I have to go to a medium. I'm thinking about rocking hot pants for the rest of the trail. Not a pants or anything, but I figured why not? Plus I can get my tan on my thighs a bit better. So there's always that. What else? Here we go. Rain jacket. Now, I was with my black rain jacket. I swapped when I came through Nuttall White here the first time to this. My Earth, Sea and Sky Parker. Now this is a Hydrophobia Mark 1. We're up to Hydrophobia Mark 2 and they're $700. I picked this up for $10. $10 Mark 1. It's a collectible. Here we go. Earth, Sea, Sky. Original Hydrophobia and the classic Barney purple and green. Now the problem with this is, I'll show you guys, some of the original sealants, the Miller Rain waterproofing PU system, has come off. You can see it. So what I've had to do was just use CRC silicone spray sealant and reseal it. I've got a couple more coats to put on it should I wish to stay with that jacket for the South Island. I might do. The reason why is because it covers past, I can tippy toe, past down here. Can't see it on camera, but down here. Past my bum, so that's pretty good. A lot of people using kilts. I might switch to a kilt. I haven't decided yet. And just get a different rain jacket. Or I could switch to a poncho, so there's some decisions to be made on the next few days. Whether I want to stay with my Earth, Sea and Sky Parker, which I got for $10, and as a Mark 1, and as a collectible, or if I want to switch to my DD Hammocks, DD Poncho Light, might do, who knows. Can always double use it as a ground cover or whatever, but we'll see what happens. It is lighter than that. The coverage is about to here. It's actually not bad. And I've got rain mitts just in case. So, as you guys know, they're wilderness equipment, original ones. What else? Let's look through the pack, shall we? There's a few stuff there I'd like to talk about. Yes, tarp system. Tarp has been, so far, way better than tent. I know people love tent on the trail. Most of the time, no one can be bothered to patch up their tent because you've got so many guide points and loops and frameworks and all that. My system's been working out pretty good. You know, it's just trekking poles. It goes up any way possible. Hexamids, pyramids, modified Holdens, modified square setups, modified rectangle setups, you name it. I've been using at least 9 to 10 different ones. I will never use the same design more than 3 days in a row, so I've been switching up the tarp setups. I love the open air, just been using it with a head net. Head net's been great, really great. So I wear my hat and go inside my sleeping bag, put my hat on and just drape the Cedar Summit. It's the nano head net, mosquito net. It's got permethrin in it, and it just drapes over my face, and it's been the best setup for me so far. Light as, really light. But the tarp, my tarp is still in use, still going great. There has been one patch I've made. I slightly pulled it too taut when it was wet. I shouldn't have done that, but I've settled it up for now. It's working fine still. So the tarp and the ground sheet bivvy bag combo, it's been pretty good. and the weight is under a kilo. It's ridiculously light for 3 meter by 3 meter tarp, or 2.9 by 3. No, it's like a mansion in there. Single skin, yeah, but condensation has been bad. I've had at least three sides of ventilation plus my entrance, so I've always had plenty of ventilation. Dries super quick. It's been a good setup. Okay, so as I was saying, sleeping pad now. This is the one I started the trail with. It's a Nature Hike ultralight sleeping pad. It's a mummy design. 380 grams with a stuff sack, right? The reason why I swapped in Auckland was because this was getting too thin. I will wake up sometimes at night and I'll be on the floor. Still comfortable. I'm used to sleeping on cell phone pads, closed cell phone pads. I'm used to sleeping in the bush with closed cell phone pads and sleeping like a Spartan. I'm used to it. Problem with that was just not comfortable anymore. And comfort's king on the trail. It truly is. You love it when you go to sleep. You love comfort. So I switched to a really nice pad, but really cheap too. Really cheap. Really great brand too. Here we go. X-Pad. It's an X-Pad. It's an ultralight thin mat medium. This has, they say, 60 grams of synthetic insulation. They rate it as 3 point something. It's a lot of R value. It's over 3. But it weighs, including the pump sack and the stuff sack. I don't use the stuff sack, I chucked it away, but the pump sack, I don't even use that hardly ever, but I still got it. With that, 380 grams. So I haven't saved weight, but it's a quality pad for what I paid for. I paid 120 bucks for it. They're usually about $220. Pretty dear in his own, but 120, bang up bargain. Can't go wrong. It's been awesome. Now, let's get to the final bits that I'd like to talk about. My arm pack. As you guys know, I've had several arm packs before, okay? I'm really an advocate for arm packs. I've got some design features I'd like to add in the future. I'm thinking about designing my own pack. Not copying them, but I've had some ideas along the trail using different materials. I am doing a series about that eventually when I come back from my TA trail and all that stuff that I'd like to put on this channel. There's some interesting ideas I've come up with along the trail, because the trail gives you nothing but plenty of time to think about things. But yeah, so my arm pack, here we go. It is still going strong. I've used this for about 200 kilometers in the bush before I started the trail. Still going strong. The pack has had no rips, nothing. The only thing I can say is the hip belt is the weird, where is it? Okay. The hip belt here, when I pull it in, it's running out of room to pull in because I've lost so much weight. I have to pull in way too tight now. There's no room for it, so that's pretty bad. So I might have to swap out the hip belt. Some light damage along the 3D foam of it. Over here. Can't see it on camera, but it's a bit fraying a bit. The boob bags, one boob bag has fully punctured. I don't know how that happened, but they're starting a lot of holes, so I'm using it at the moment for my ditty stuff up here and my brain lid. For anything I may or may not need, like PL bag, spare cord, repair kit, stuff like that. That's my dry bag for now. What I'm using for the electronics dry bag on my left side, this side, these are the Sports 12 litres, by the way. I bought these just before I started the trail. They've been good so far. Really good. What I'm using for the electronics bag is just using a spare 10 litre dry bag. It works the same thing, roll top, easy to clip. Very, very good system. I have a lot to say about arms, a lot. But there will be the Humble Rouse overview about this sometime in the next 7-8 months. So I have a lot to say about the arm systems, and people are starting to realise their potential. Saw a few other people on the TA trail using arms, using it. Aotearoa pack. Go. Boom. On. Love these things. Love these things. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. But I've been bothering Arn himself to make me a Cuban fiber one. He won't, and I don't reckon he makes much money off it anyway. But if he had the time, I would buy one. Yeah, a Cuban fiber one. I love the suspensions. I love the pack design. It's a beautiful pack design. But for the South Island now, for the North Island, these boot pockets, 12 litres, have been great. However, because we got longer carries on South Island, we got the Richmond Rangers, which they recommend 6 to 14 days. It's quite a diverse range, so I might jump back to my original Expedition Large. Now these boot pockets are 9 litres a piece. Those ones that I have currently are 6. So that gives me 18 at the front for longer hauls. More food at the front. That'd be great. Water usage on the trail. I've only been using 1 litre bottles. I've been going through carrying about 2 litres max, most of the North Island. There have been some stretches where I've had to fill up my bladders. A few of my bladders have actually burst. But that's alright, that's why I bought 8 of them before I started the trail, so there's always that. Anything else? Gators. I've used my gators maybe once. Haven't really needed to use gators. I am a gator person myself, just haven't needed to use them really. So it's been pretty good without gators, so I haven't had any issues. As I was saying, the South Island, I might have to change back to these Expedition Large. So that's about it. Closing remarks. There are a lot of reasons why people change gear on the trail, or their thoughts, or what they see along the trail. You see a lot of shenanigans. I have a lot of shenanigans to post, so there's always that. People change the gear for different reasons. People feet might not be well, or their back might be sore, or they might like the look of things. You need to change your gear if you can afford to. That's the most important thing. If you can afford it, and you really would like to do it, and you feel comfortable with the change, go for it. If you cannot afford it, don't do it. See, the problem with us local trampers doing the whole shebang, the whole TA, because it's TA all day, every day, in my opinion. The problem is, I'm just going to say in Māori, we're poor, we're relatively broke, and we're notorious tight asses. So, unlike a lot of foreigners that come to this country, we cannot afford to spend all this big chunks of money. But if you can make a change for your gear when you're doing a through hike, I would say go for it if it suits your budget and it's going to suit your needs. Don't do it because you like the look of it. I'm not saying personally, it's wrong, but it's wrong in principle. You're doing it based on your happy mood, a feeling. You're not doing it on the practical reasons. And you should do something for the practical and economical reasons, not for the looks, to be hip, to look cool. Do what works for you, but do it economically feasible. Don't go out of your way to do something. All I can say is I hope other TA hikers are enjoying shenanigans while I'm temporarily off the trail. I will be back on trail very shortly in the next 5 days or so. As I said, sorting out documentary footage, heaps of shenanigans, heaps of photos to sort out. All my storage that I was carrying, it's completely full. 1 terabyte hard drive, chock-a-block. 2 128 gig U3, that's cinema 4K capable SD cards, full. 32 gigabyte normal card that can't handle 4K, it's free. And 2 64 gigabytes U3, full. So that can handle cinema 4K. So everything, even my phone, everything's chock-a-block. So I don't want to buy another hard drive. I don't want to extend my plan on my cloud drive. So I can back home, upload the footage, I can edit it, color grade it, start doing it now. Got a whole bunch of hiker interviews coming up. Heaps of them. A lot of people have been opening up to the idea of the doco. As I've said, it's the real life of the TA. Not like my journey, blah blah blah, my. That's too personal. This one's very impersonal, but from a point of view. How I'm talking to the camera now, how you see it. Real life, real shenanigans, the real views, real emotions, everything. History, the interviews, their stories, how they're going, everything about the TA incorporated into a documentary. At the moment, I'm not sponsored. I would like to be sponsored by someone, but I think I'm one of the only Kiwi hikers that's doing the whole shebang, not just the North Island or South Island, that isn't sponsored. A lot of them are sponsored or charity. They had their reasons. Me, I'm not sponsored because they don't suit my ethics, my kaupapa. I don't want to do something I don't believe in. Not that I don't believe in charity. If you're doing it for charity, hiking for charity, that's great. If you're doing it because you're sponsored by someone, that's great. But no one has come to my needs of what I like to see in the sponsorship. They have the same mindset. The reasons why I'm doing this documentary and the TA. As I said, I'm doing it for other people. I'm not doing it for myself. Sounds very impersonal, but it's just what it is. I'm doing this for everyone who can't do it. I'm doing this for my family, my ancestors, my culture. It's been really interesting on the trail seeing, New Zealand, Aotearoa, not through your own eyes, but through your ancestors' eyes. The old people, even colonial, seeing it through old eyes. You start seeing different things in the landscape. You start seeing what buildings could be, where people could have lived, what the food would have been like then, if there were farms around. You see all those things with a different mindset, and the TA has definitely changed my mindset. As I said, I'm nearly finished the North Island. I've only got like 50 something Ks to go. I'll redo the Tararuas whenever I can, but it's certainly changed my mindset on life. As you folks, Rasta Bushman, I'm a Rastafarian. That will never change, ever. I still love my God, I still love Jah, I still love the outdoors, I still love other people, even from different faiths and religions. I like people in general, I have faith in humanity, but it changes how you see the TA. TA, a through hike, I would recommend it. So, I'm rambling on a bit too much, but I thought I'd chuck all this in. As I said, sorry I haven't been vlogging. I'm trying to vlog at least once every 2 weeks now. Try to make a schedule for it and doing snippets here and there and add it into my footage when I can. So thank you folks for watching. Ka kite anō, and I'll be back on trail in the next 6 to 7 days. See you later.